Welcome to Soccer Gaming and welcome to this week's Dynasty Rebuild. As always, we take a team with the default rosters from opening day and try to win them that coveted World Series. The challenge is to try to do it within 5 years. If we can do it before 5 years is up, it is a success. However, if we don't hit it within 5 years, it's failure. This week, we will be doing the Chicago White Sox Dynasty Rebuild. So if you like to watch that, stick around. So today we will be rebuilding the Chicago White Sox, a team that made the playoffs last year and has one of the best young, talented rosters, and they just weren't able to do anything at the end of last year. Lost a bunch at the end of last year, but this year I think we could do what it takes. Right now they come in currently ranked 8th, first in contact, 15th in power, 7th in pitching, 18th in defense, and 2nd in speed. They also have $179.5 million worth of team budget. So let's jump in here, starting with regular season, and let's just go ahead and take a look at the rosters and see what we got on our team this year in the rosters. So depth chart popping up, looks like right field is 22nd overall, second base is 25th overall. So two places we might address later. Whether it be this year, next year, we'll have to see. It looks like center field's 11th. We're fine with that because it's Robert. Left field's gonna be fine. Third base should be fine with Yohan Moncada. Tim Anderson's gonna be good. Jose Abreu, one of the best. So yeah, Grandal, catcher. The pitching is somewhere I think we're gonna have to adjust and address. We have a couple of older people that we're gonna have to either win it this year, or you know what I mean, like we're either gonna have to win it this year or kind of move on, because like even looking at what next year looks like for the starting pitchers, we're only basically getting one back. So let's go ahead, now that we've looked at that, let's look at our full roster, the lineups. Tim Anderson's going to be in the first at shortstop, second's going to be Madrigal, first baseman Jose Abreu, Elroy Jimenez in left field, third base Moncada, Eaton right field, Grandal catcher, Garcia, and DH will kind of move around. It could be him, could be Andrew Vaughn, who knows. And then Luis Robert and in center field. Taking a look at the pitching rotation, Giolito, our number one guy, 87 overall. Lance Lynn, 87 overall. 82 Keuchel, 75 Rodon, and 67 Dylan Cease. Going over to the bullpen, Evan Marshall, Garrett Crochet, which one of their good young talented guys, Matt Foster, Cody Hewer, Jimmy Cordero, Aaron Boomer, don't know which one, Jace Fry, and Liam Hendricks, a really good closer as long as he can stay healthy. 32 years of age, probably has another good couple of years before he's gone. Giolito's a good thing. Lance Lynn, we're gonna probably have to move him eventually. Same thing with Keuchel, just too old to stay on the team for too long. Plus, we're going to need some really good starting pitching. We are in the AL Central, a division that has not been great and will probably not be great. So we probably, to get out of here, we probably won't have to win a ton of games. We're not going to have to win 100 games to get out of this division. But I am going to go ahead and just start it. We're going to sim to the All-Star break and see where we're at, see if we need to make some changes. If we do, we'll hit the trade block, that type of stuff. We'll make some changes, move some people around. But we're just going to jump into it, see how we are at the All-Star break, and go from there. So we are at the All-Star break and doing pretty good, 57-34 our record. We started off not in the best shape, but we ended up turning it back around the last couple of months. July, we're hot. June, we were hot. We didn't start off very well in April, a bunch of losses there, but turned it around. We're at 57-34 going into the All-Star break. Let's take a look at the team, see how they're doing, see what we can address, and see how we can make this team better. Starting with the lineups, 257 from Anderson, not a great job, especially since he's a guy that is our leadoff guy. He's supposed to be hitting for high average, and 257 just ain't doing it. Madrigal, 254, not great. 321 by Jose Abreu, amazing. 223 by Jimenez, that's not good, especially since the home runs and RBIs aren't there. If he was hitting 21 home runs, 56 RBIs like Jose Abreu, I probably could look past this 223 average, but it's hard to look past. Mcmahon is hitting very well, 310 for him, 17 home runs, 45 RBIs, 247 for Eaton, 255 for Grandal. Again, say this every time, if a catcher hits above 200, we're happy with it, and Grandal is doing exactly that. Garcia, for our designated hitter, do pretty good, 13 home runs, 45 RBIs, hitting 319 average. And then Robert hitting 187 average, not good there. However, they're young, they're guys I want to see continue to get better, and so I don't really know what to do with this team, to be honest with you, because the guys that I feel like I kind of want to change, they're young, and it's like, well, if we wait a year or two, these guys could be all-stars. But if I wait a year or two and they don't, then that's a year or two that I've lost already trying to grow this team. So I think, honestly, I think we go out and try to get a right fielder. We move on from Eaton, try to get a guy that can really help us win. Andrew Vaughn's not doing too bad. He's doing pretty good, 288 from him. So I think we move on at right field. We'll get Adam Eaton out of here and move on from him. Is there anybody else I could think of that's kind of older? Garcia's pretty old. Jose Abreu is getting old, but I feel like he has another good year left, and maybe if he struggles next year, we move on from him. But I think we got to address right field first, and let's go ahead and take a look at our pitching rotation, see how they're doing. Giolito, 2.20 ERA, crazy good. Have not seen numbers like that from Giolito in a while. 208 from Keuchel, amazing. Rodon, not doing so hot, 429. 270 from Matt Foster, wow, and a 286 from Reynaldo Lopez. So our guys, our pitchers are doing well. Our bullpen, not bad. Got one high ERA in there, and it's only in 11 innings pitched. I mean, this is not bad at all. I'm excited about what I see here. Hendricks closing it down, 29 saves, only one blown save so far. And so, yeah, I think we have some injuries that I saw in there that are kind of a problem. And the biggest reason they're a problem is because now I have to be careful about trades. See where they are. Lance Lynn still out for another 4 days, and we'll probably move on from him. Although he's throwing at 208. Oof. These guys are making it tough. They're throwing very well. And so it looks like the reason we're winning are the pitching we have. So let's go ahead, address right field, possibly get a starting pitcher off of it as well, and we'll kind of go from there. So we're looking for a right fielder, and I feel like we found a pretty big trade. Now, going into this, you're going to see some big names, but I think this is going to be better in the long run. So what we wanted was a right fielder. We got that in Sam Hilliard, a young guy, 77 overall. I know he's not a knockout right fielder right now. However, hitting pretty good, 288, a guy that I think we can work with. And I also want to point out we are getting a starting pitcher in Herman Marquez, and he's gonna be locked in at that contract for 3 years. So we're pretty good on the contract for him. And right now he is throwing a 3.5 ERA. And then we're also going to be getting a first baseman in Ryan Mcmahon. The reason I'm going after this is because I think that, first of all, he could play first, second, or third. Second of all, he's hitting 338, which is really good. And I think that maybe in the next year or two, we are going to be moving on from our first baseman, Jose Abreu. Now, the only person we're losing really out of this is going to be Liam Hendricks, our main guy. However, looking at that contract, $18 million over the next 3 years, I think we can get a closer for much cheaper and still give us that closing type of role without us losing $18 million. So a trade that I obviously I don't think in real life they would do this. We're going to trade him. We're going to give up Ryan Groins, and then we're also going to give up another guy that really isn't going to do anything. I think he's an F, actually. Yeah, he's an F, 29 years old. So we're going to go ahead, make this trade, and then I think we need to go find another closing pitcher. All right, we have found the closing pitcher we want. We're going to go out and get Robert Osuna, a guy that should be good and continue to go up. He's probably going to get more expensive, but that is completely fine with me right now. 314 ERA, 23 saves, 3 blown saves, which is a little worse than what we gave up. However, the only thing we're really giving up is Dallas Keuchel and another $18.5 million contract. Some of these contracts, I mean, Keuchel for 18.5, are you kidding me? Who would pay him that much? Anyways, apparently we did. We're going to get rid of that contract. We're also going to give up Gavin Sheets, a young guy that might actually make an organization in real life. However, we don't got the time to wait for him. And then we're going to add Samir Dueñas also as well to get this trade done. We're going to complete this trade, and we got our closer. All right, so I got to be honest with you, wasn't really happy about the right fielder situation with Eaton and Hilliard just because I think we upgraded. However, I don't necessarily feel like we gained a lot out of it. So I'm wanting to make some sort of trade here and try to get this done and try to add on a little bit more as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get Kyle Tucker and Nomar Mazara. Both guys, I mean, Mazara he's so hit or miss, and so hopefully he could turn it around and do well. Used to be on the White Sox, however, not this year. But Kyle Tucker, guy that looks like they got from the Astros, looks like, yeah, they traded for Kyle Tucker from the Astros on their team now. We're going to go ahead and trade him for Sam Hilliard, a guy we traded for, and get rid of this $8 million contract from Adam Eaton. Go ahead and make this trade, and this gives us a better job as far as I think our right fielder is really shored up now with Kyle Tucker. So let's take a look at the lineups now with all of those trades. We still got Tim Anderson leading us off, Nick Madrigal, Jose Abreu, Elroy Jimenez, Moncada, Kyle Tucker, Grandal, Robert, and Garcia. Also got some guys in here doing pretty good. Mazara, Engel, Mendick, and Andrew Vaughn. Going over to our pitching rotation, we got Giolito in that number 1 spot, Marquez number 2, Rodon number 3, number 4 is Matt Foster, and number 5 is Reynaldo Lopez. Now, I don't think we have the best starting pitchers. However, they're doing well, and it would be hard to kind of move on from them, especially when they're doing well. Carlos Rendon, I would normally get rid of him, but I actually do think he gets better throughout the seasons, so I think he drops that down below a 4, maybe not this year but next year. So I don't really want to adjust with the starting pitchers quite yet. We also got an injury with Lance Lynn. Honestly, in 4 days I might go ahead and trade Lance Lynn. We'll have to wait and see. So I think that's going to do it for the trades. We're going to go ahead and sim to September call-ups and see where we're at then. September call-ups are here. And yeah, we're in second place from the Twins, 2 games behind them. Indians 5 games behind the Twins as well. Not doing so hot this last month. I'm guessing the pitching's kind of slowed down a little bit, and hopefully we can get up and make sure that we get into the playoffs. If I remember right, usually 2 AL Central teams make it into the playoffs this first year. Hopefully we are one of them. We'll have to take a look at the standings once we get closer. Let's take a look at the lineup, see what we're going through here. It looks like Anderson's still struggling. 230 is awful. 256 from Madrigal. Abreu struggling. He was at like 320. He's hitting 292 now. 244 from Jimenez. Moncada below 3 as well now. We have nobody above 3 anymore, so that's not good to see. Kyle Tucker doing 249, so not great since we traded for him. Looking at these guys over here, really not doing much over here. Ryan McMahon isn't doing actually half bad. That's actually really good to see over there. 321. I'm not sure what he was when he came in. He might have already been close to that. However, hopefully we start turning it around, because we really need to turn it around here soon. Going to the pitching, Giolito just going nuts. 237 ERA from him. Bummer, 79 for him, 393 from Rodon, so he's pulled it down. I said that I thought he would go below 4 either this year or next year. He's got below 4 now. 283 from Foster and a 392. So it is definitely not the bullpen. The bullpen's killing it. They could not be playing really any better right now. So that's good to see from them. Bullpen the same way. Not too bad. Fry still struggling a little bit. I think he was struggling earlier on. But not too bad. Osuna doing pretty good. 33 saves, 5 blown saves. It's quite a bit, but getting the job done there. We're going to go up till about the last 5 days or so, see where we're at. as far as how many games behind or if we're in first place. So let's go ahead and sim up to like the last 5 games and see where we are at and see what changes we might possibly need to make. Right now it doesn't look so good. We're losing a bunch of games. Just lost 3 in a row there, so 4 in a row. Yeah, it's not looking good. I kind of scared to look at this. Ooh, 7.5 games out right now. Not good at all. I mean, this isn't looking good. Let's take a look and see where we're at as far as all of the standings go. I don't think I've yet had one where we don't make the playoffs in the first year. That might not be true. I might have had one that I didn't make the playoffs in the first year. However, this is not looking good. Twins have already clinched the postseason. Let's take a look at the wild card. So we are currently in the wild card spot, and we're gonna have to lose the rest of these games in order not to. So actually, I said before that the AL struggles. Not so much. They're gonna get about 3 teams in unless we botch the last 5 games, which we might. 3-7 in the last 10. We might actually botch these games, but let's go ahead, sim to the postseason, and hopefully we get in. We have finished 91-71, so we have made the postseason as a wildcard team, and we'll be playing the Indians, which are in our division, in the playing game, and then whoever wins that will go on to play New York. So it's the end of the season. Let's take a look and see how we did. 231, absolutely awful from Anderson. Hopefully he does better in the playoffs. 267 from Madrigal, 284 from Jose, 248 from Jimenez, 283 from Moncada, Grandal, 242 about what he did all year, 219 from Robert, not great, 231 from Tucker, I think he dropped, 273 from Garcia. So yeah, not a great showing as far as our players did this year. Our pitching was amazing. Our hitting not so much, which is funny because I feel like our hitting was something that we should have been better at, especially since we were like number 2 in contact. I can't believe that we're number 2 in contact yet we just cannot hit. So let's take a look at our pitching rotation. Giolito 269 for him, so he actually ended up being a little worse than he was at some point in the season. I think he was like a 202 or something, which is crazy. 231 from Lance Lynn, so he came back and did well for us from the injury list. 413 from Marquez, 402 from Rodon, and Cease with a 617. 379 from Lopez. We're going to flip-flop them around. 287 from Foster, not bad. 414 from Crochet's not bad either. For some 4s, 259 from Osuna. Let's see what he ended up doing. 36 saves, 5 blown saves. So he didn't blow any more saves since the last time we checked. So I'm ready to jump in to the postseason. We were playing Cleveland game 1. Then we'll see if we can beat them and go on the ALDS against the Yankees. So playing game, you only get 1 game. It is Shane Bieber versus Giolito. This could be over now, or we could be on to the next one. Let's find out now. We win 1-0. A great game. Wow, I want to see this. So we held them to 3 hits. We had 9 hits. Looks like, yeah, wow, that's crazy. Who pitched for us? Giolito pitched 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, and Osuna came in and finished it off. That is huge to see. Bieber had himself a day as well, only giving up 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, but we were able to get the job done. Giolito, our savior there. Madrigal, 3 hits. It's crazy. Moncada, 2 hits and the RBI. So we move on to the ALDS against the New York Yankees. We got Houston and Minnesota on the top. Milwaukee, Dodgers over there. And also the Mets and Phillies. Looks like the Phillies beat San Diego in the playing game. So let's get this game started. Game 1, Cole and Lance Lynn. A win there, which is big. New York, a team that is tough to beat in the playoffs. Also tough to beat the Dodgers, but we don't have to worry about them to the World Series. We got to get past the Yankees now. 2-1 in game 1. Lance Lynn pitching well. Marquez, Severino, a win there. 6-4 is big. Starting out 2-0. Rodon and Talion, a win. We swept the Yankees. I cannot believe that we just swept the Yankees. Oh, the good luck and fortune there. And we're going to play against Houston, a team that is tough to beat. If I had to pick the AL, I would say the toughest team to beat is the Yankees. Then it is Houston. So we're going to play Houston now in the ALCS. Looks like the Dodgers moved past Milwaukee 3-2. They are in to the NLCS, where they're down 1-0 against Philadelphia, which is funny. I don't think I've ever seen Philadelphia in the first year, and I don't think I've ever seen them move past the NLDS, because usually they have to play the Dodgers in the NLDS because they're usually the number 1 seed. However, the Mets got the number 1 seed this year, but we got to worry about Houston now in the ALCS. Game 1, Giolito and McCullers. We're going to get the loss there, 3-5. Not what we wanted to see. Game 2, Valdez and Lynn, another loss. We might get swept in here. Game 3, Urquidy and Marquez, a loss. Game 4, a win. Okay, Giolito, Game 5, and a loss. And the White Sox have been eliminated by the Astros. And I honestly got to be happy with where we did. The fact that we swept the Yankees was huge. So let's go ahead, send to the offseason, and get the second season started. The Dodgers still won. They beat the Astros in the World Series, in the 2021 World Series. So the Dodgers again win it the very first year. So let's move on to year 2 and get it started then. Free agency is among us, and most of the free agents are the same almost every single year. So just taking a look at them and see what we need to be doing here. Just looking at what we have in our lineups. Shortstop, it has to change. Tim Anderson's got to either play better, or we got to move on from him. A 231 average from a guy that we're getting just is not worth. So Tim Anderson, either we move on from him this year, or I almost say we go after a shortstop and try to make sure that we have a shortstop that is going to perform. And if we don't have that with Anderson, then we move on from him. If we don't have that with whoever else we get, then we move on from them. We're at a point where we made it into the playoffs last year with not being able to hit very well. Our pitching kind of kept us in it and kept us good enough for it. But we need to really address some of the flaws that we have in here. And this year, last year, I kind of just let it go. Robert hitting 219. I just let it go. Same thing with several other people like Jimenez, Anderson. I just kind of let it go. But if they hit like this year, then they're done. They're moved on. So I think with the money we have a ton of money. I don't want to move. I don't want to use it all, because I also want to address stuff next year, or if we have to make a trade and lose out on some significant profit, then we'll do that. However, I do think Trevor Story is a guy that would help us right away. I also think we could get a Starling Marte or a Conforto, maybe, depending on how much they're offered and all that. If we could go ahead and get them on our team, then that would also help us as well. So let's take a look at here. And I'm not worried about draft picks and stuff, because, again, we're drafting so late that it's going to be tough for us to get a top prospect anyways. Other than that, I don't really want Syndergaard this year, to be honest with you. I think he would be worth it. However, I just feel like I always get Syndergaard, and I feel like it's kind of a cop-out. But we do struggle with starting pitching. We lost Lance Lynn. Let's go ahead and get him. I've talked myself out of it. Yikes. We lost Story to the Cubs, our inner city rival. Wow. I guess I should have been paying more attention to it and making sure that we didn't lose out on him. So 114 for Lindor, 114 over 6 years, and not a huge fan of Lindor. However, we got to get someone here. I think Corey Seager would actually be a good play right here. Syndergaard, let's go. So we got Syndergaard, still in first on both of these. Good to see that. Corey Seager, got him. All right, so we got one more guy left. Got Lindor. So we got the 3 guys we wanted to, and that should definitely help us there. We're going to go ahead and sim to the beginning of the season, and I'll see you guys then. So the regular season is upon us, so we are ready to make it started. Last year we started out, 8th ranked? We're down to 4th right now. Hopefully we could see some better hitting than we did last year. Really struggled hitting, and we try to address some of that in what we brought in. And first thing I'm going to do is, we got so many shortstops. I want to move one of these guys over to second base. I don't know which one would actually be better. Probably Seager would be a better second baseman. So let's go ahead and move him over to second base, primary position, second base. Boom, hit it. See what he goes over to second base as, a 94. So yeah, actually much better as a second baseman. Good to see there. So we addressed the second baseman issue with another shortstop. Third base, we should be fine. And then we got Lindor and Tim Anderson kind of fighting this one out. And to be honest with you, we're probably going to be moving on from some pretty big names this year. So this year is kind of, I wouldn't say make or break. However, I do think that this year will determine how we do stuff in the future. Because if we're struggling this year with this team, then it's time to move on to a different direction, bring in some more loaded people, stuff like that. So let's take a look at the lineups and see what we got. So anyway, Tim Anderson, our leadoff guy. Moncada, number 2. Number 3 is Seager. Jimenez, number 4. Lindor, number 5. Abreu, number 6. Grandal, number 7. Robert, number 8. And Kyle Tucker, number 9. We weren't able to address the outfield much. However, this year I think we're going to be moving on from some people. Robert comes to mind if he struggles. Jimenez, if he struggles. Anderson if he struggles. So we might be addressing the outfield with a couple of trades there. Going over to our pitching rotation, we got Giolito, number 1, Syndergaard, number 2, Marquez, number 3, Rodon, number 4, and Park at number 5. Going over here, we got Crochet back, a couple of guys back as well, and then we got Robert Osuna as our closer once again. So let's get this season started. Let's go ahead and sim through to the All-Star game and see what changes we need to be made, or if there's someone we need to move on from, we'll do it then. So we are at the All-Star game, and again, same thing as last year. I feel like we really got off to a slow start, and then we started winning some games. However, we are still close to the 500 mark, coming in at 3-7 in the last 10. Half game behind the Indians, 2 games up on the Twins. Let's take a look, see how we're doing, see what we need to change, because I really do think we need to change something, because we're ranked number 2 now, and we're struggling. So let's take a look at it, see what we got to move on from. 257 from Lindor, not bad, not great. 286 from Moncada, nice. 251 from Seager, not what we went out and got, to be honest with you. Not great, really, at all. Jimenez, 245, 253 from Abreu, 247 from Grandal, 267 from Tucker, 266 from Collins, 206 from Engel. Why isn't Tim Anderson? If he's hitting 409, dear Lord, why is he not in? Seager might be someone that we try to trade. He's not hitting well. So yeah, let's go ahead and address center field. We'll move some people around. We'll move Tim Anderson or something to second base. We'll move on from Corey Seager. Looks like he's struggling this year anyways and not having a good year. So maybe it's time to trade him. Let's take a look at our pitching rotation. See how they're doing. A 535. Oof. That is really bad from Syndergaard. Like, really bad. I don't think I've ever seen him do that bad. Oof. 535 is horrible. 381 is not bad. 598. Oof. Giolito, 248. Why is he down here? Hello? Why would you be down there? 598 from Rodon, not great. And then 214. I would say we need another 2 starting pitchers. We're not going to get rid of Syndergaard. Rodon probably is going to leave. And then we need to get another guy in instead of Lambert. Not that he's not doing a good job here. However, it's not a long-term fix there. So we're going to go out and get 2 starting pitchers and a center fielder. Someone at center field. And not only did we find someone, we found the best outfielder, the best player currently known to mankind. We're going to eat a big contract. But again, we saved some money in the offseason, so we were able to kind of make this work with Trout, and we're going to eat the $35.5 million every single year, and I don't care, because it is Mike freaking Trout, and we know what we're getting with Mike Trout. We're getting a player that, as long as he doesn't get injured, he's going to put up those numbers and be good for us. And we're trading Seager for him, and kind of just right across the board, we're also adding another starting pitcher, be potential guy to try to get this done. But I think that this will definitely be the center fielder for our future, and we won't have to worry about center field anymore. And we get Mike Trout, so we're going to start selling some more tickets, get some more money. It's going to be great. Normally, I don't make trades like this. However, I just thought it would be great if we got Mike Trout on our team. We were able to do it without giving up too much in return. So we found a starting pitcher, and we're going to give up Jose Abreu, mostly because I know he's an A potential 85 overall. Last year of his contract, not going to bring him back next year. And he's really struggling this year. Looks like he's dropping a ton. Stats-wise, 253, not great. Not awful, but not great, especially since his statistics are dropping here. I'm a little worried what he's going to do next year, what he's going to look like. So let's get ahead of it. Let's get rid of him and get a top-end closer in Max Fried, a guy that I've gotten before in these, and he always ends up panning out and playing well. Right now, he's throwing a 2.9 ERA already in 11 innings with 103 strikeouts. So a guy that's going to be good for us, and we ended up having to add a right fielder on just to make the trade happen. A 23-year-old B potential, 65 overall guy. So since we got rid of our first baseman, we need a replacement first baseman. I know we got a couple of guys here that are very good. However, I found a guy that is even better, and I know continues to get much better, and that is Ryan Mountcastle, a young guy, 25, B potential right now, hitting a 283 right now. So basically just giving up Dylan Cease, a guy that you know the name. He's good, however, probably not going to be ever in a starting role. So we went ahead, going to trade him, and then two relievers that are just down here to make the trade happen. And boom, we got ourselves a first baseman. Now, the last thing we need to do is get our last starting pitcher. Besides that, I'm very comfortable with what we have on the field currently. So we're going to go ahead and try to get that first baseman. We're going to go ahead and try to get that last starting pitcher. So we found our last starting pitcher. It's going to be Jose Barrios, a guy that hopefully turns in to the all-star that everyone thinks he's going to be. And we're going to be giving up a very young, talented starting pitcher, a guy that is one of the top prospects in the game right now. However, I don't see the need for it because he's not ever going to get up here fast enough to be useful for us. So we're going to go ahead and trade him, and a third base guy that just is on our team. Not sure what he's doing down there. And he's 48 overall. I'm not sure why he's even in the baseball game. However, we're going to make this trade, and we're going to finish up with what our team is going to look like. Now, earlier on, we were number 2. We're still number 2. Now, let me make this quick change here, and we're going to actually put Tim Anderson, 85 currently. We're going to switch him over to second base. He was 85, and now he is a 92. So let's take a look at the lineups to see what we got here. We got Tim Anderson at second base, 92 overall. Mike Trout, Elroy Jimenez. Hopefully will start to turn it around. Lindor, Mountcastle, Moncada, Tucker, and Grandal. So I'm excited about what this team can do. We just got to do it. And then let's take a look at the pitching rotation since we messed with it. Giolito, 92. Syndergaard, 89. Max Fried, 87. Barrios, 86. And Herman Marquez at 83. Going over here, Rodon, bunch of guys in the bullpen ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and sim all the way. We're done with trades. We're going to sim all the way up till September call-ups and see how we're doing then. So we did some moving around because we're not going to be able to afford the contract that Jose Barrios wants. So I don't have the faith that we can win it this year, honestly. So what I think we're going to do is, since we can't afford Barrios on his contract, we're actually going to move him to the Nationals, and we're going to be getting back Devi Garcia, originally with the Yankees. Doing pretty good, 4.05 ERA, which is but he's 22 years of age, A potential, 80 overall. A guy that probably might not even be in our starting rotation. Yes, he will be in our starting rotation. So it's going to be either between him or Carlos Rodon. And we're going to be saving quite a bit of money with him, and then we'll probably try to sign him on to a bigger contract. And he's got renewals and arbitrations coming up and stuff. So Barrios, we're going to lose free agency if we don't move on from him. So I think this is the best possible trade we can make right now. We're also going to give up a catcher that we don't really need, not going to be in here. Zach Collins will be the next one up once Grandal's done, and then a first baseman that is 70 overall, C potential. So let's get this trade made, and awesome. So let's take a look at what we got here for our pitching rotation. So Garcia does make it into our pitching rotation. He pitches 405 all year. I am super excited about that. Syndergaard's got to get that well below 5. He needs to get to about 420, 4.2 ERA if he wants to be what he should be. And yeah, we I think are done, and I think we should move on, and hopefully we can pull the AL Central out of our tushies. We're gonna move on to the September call-ups, and I will see you guys then. September call-ups are on us, and we are 1 game up on the Indians in the AL Central, ranked number 1 currently, even though I don't think we're ranked number 1 right now. However, let's see how they're doing. Right now, I don't know. I thought they'd be better. 299 average from Tim Anderson, not bad. 300 from Madrigal, awesome. 297 from Trout, wouldn't expect anything less. 266 from Jimenez, 272 from Lindor, 279 from Mountcastle, a great get there at first base. 282 from Moncada, Tucker hitting 260, and 249 from Grandal. So not too bad, not too worried about it right now. Pretty good. Let's move on over to the pitching rotation, see how they're doing there. Giolito, a 1.93 ERA. What a madman. A 1.93 for him. 472 from Syndergaard. He's bringing it down. A 297 from Fried. Amazing. 387 from Marquez. And a 398 from Garcia. Not bad for a guy that we brought. I think he brought him in. He was an 80, right? So he's going up. He's doing pretty good then. Going over, Rodon not playing very well. Other than that, the bullpen seems fine. Seems fine with where they're at. Osuna, a 1.20, which is really good for him. 43 saves, only 3 blown saves so far. So we're 1 game up over the Indians, and let's take a look at the standings here and see what we got. So it looks like the Indians are kind of in that wild card race. So we're going to sim to like the last 2 or 3 days and see where we're at and see kind of go from there. But not bad so far. Definitely a team that I think is going to make it in the playoffs and possibly make some noise in the playoffs this year instead of losing early on. And with 3 games left, I didn't think we were even going to be close to hitting 100 wins. But right now with 3 games left, 101 wins. So let's go ahead and finish this out with 3 wins. So we ended up winning 6 in a row to finish out the season at 104-58, and we have won the division, so we don't have to worry about the wild card this year. Super happy about that. Cleveland and Boston in that wild card position actually come in as the number 1 ranked. Good to see that. Oakland and New York up top. On the other side, Chicago, Mets, Dodgers as always, Washington, and San Diego. Let's take a look at see how we did to finish off the season. Looking at the lineups, a 287 from Anderson, 290 from Madrigal, 305, 44 home runs, 105 RBIs from Trout, 32 dingers, and a 94 RBIs with a 278 average from Jimenez. He definitely turned it up. 276 from Lindor, 42 home runs, 104 RBIs for him. So he had himself a year. 274 average from Mountcastle. Love the home runs, love the RBIs. Same thing with Moncada, 277 average. Great. Grandal did well as well. Tucker, 259 from him, so not bad either. Going over to our pitching rotation, a 190 from Giolito. I'm sure he won. I'm sure he won all of the awards as far as pitching goes. A 1.9 ERA. Good to see that from Giolito. Definitely deserves. Syndergaard got at 4. I said he got to get around the 4.20 mark. He ends up bringing it all back down to a 4 ERA, which is good to see. Max Fried, 293 for him. 361 from Garcia. Good to see. And Marquez. So Garcia is really, really flying up. He started when we traded for him, was an 80 and a 3.61 ERA this year. Puts him all the way up to an 84. Good to see that. 373 for Marquez. Not too bad either. Bullpen gave up a little bit more. 4.54 there. Rodon never turned it around. 506 average for him. Ozuna, a 1.15 ERA, 49 saves, 4 blown saves. A great year for him. So we're on to the playoffs and loving our chances. I think the Dodgers will be a problem in the World Series. However, I think that the Yankees will be a problem again this year. Last year we 3-0'd them, swept them. I don't know if we could do that this year, but let's get it started. and find out who we're going to play, either Cleveland or Boston. Looks like it's going to be Cleveland. Cleveland we played last year in the playing game and won 1-0. So barely even made it in to the ALDS last year, where we beat the Yankees, and then we lost in the ALCS against Houston. So let's get this started. Game 1, Giolito and Plesac, a victory there, 12-4. Game 2, Syndergaard, Saval, a win there. Game 3, Fried and McKenzie, a loss. Okay, Bieber and Garcia, a good time for the young guy to show up, and he does. Gets us the 4-2 victory, and we will be going against the Oakland Athletics. 3-0'd the Yankees. Wow, the Yankees struggling, getting swept year 1 by us, year 2 by the Oakland Athletics. Oakland White Sox, Game 1, Giolito, Luzardo. We come up with a victory. Game 1, 9-1. Game 2, Montas, Syndergaard, a loss. That's not good. Syndergaard must have really struggled in that. Doesn't actually look like he did struggle. Maybe he did. Maybe he just did so good in this first game it didn't matter. Game 2, how did he do? Yeah, 2 2/3. Gave up 3 earned runs. Rodon. Oh, Rodon, bruh. I feel like Rodon we almost got to take out, because he's just really, honestly, bringing it down. Like, the way he's playing is so bad that I feel like it's not even worth. It is what it is. We'll go on. Game 3, Fried, Manea. Got the victory there, 6-3. Fried pitching very well. Now, Garcia and Lance Lynn, a guy that was on our team last year, pitched very, very well for us. However, we had to get rid of him because we could not afford the contract he wanted. Now, he is back to get his revenge. Oakland down 1-2, needing to win this one to stay in the series. It won't be series over. It's a best of 7. However, they really got to get a victory here if they don't want to go against Giolito again. Game 4, Garcia, Lynn. We get the victory, 6-5, up 3-1. Finish this out here, Syndergaard. He does not. A 0-1 loss. Giolito and Montas. Let's finish it out. Wow, we lost that one. So it comes down to Game 7, Max Fried versus Paul Blackburn, and you know what I do in these situations. We're going to jump into it and super sim him. Quick manage this one, get in there with the White Sox. Hopefully we could get the victory today. Max Fried going to go for us on the mound. They're going to pick up Paul Blackburn, a 76 overall guy, so hopefully we could take advantage of that. I'm not going to mess with any of this stuff. I feel like they've been doing good enough all year. I shouldn't need to mess with this. If we have to, we might, move some guys around. However, we are on the AL side, so designated hitter is a thing. So let's jump into it and get the game started. Of how we're playing. A solo dinger by Mountcastle gets us on the board first. All right, Fried, we need you to come through here, bud. First time through the order, you didn't do so hot. Let's get it done. The second, 2 singles, 2 guys on for Tim Anderson, and a double play. Love to see that. A single by Madrigal gets us our second run in. Jimenez with the home run, up 3-0. Okay. Solo dinger by Trout. Okay. So we're just getting the solo dingers right now, which I'm happy with. Up 5-0. Worry about, okay, 2-run home run by Fried. Maybe it's time to move on from Fried, and you know who I'm not going to is going to be Rodon. We need a righty in here. Go here. Hopefully he can finish this out here. He does. Boom. Let's get it, finish it off. Then we got the 9th, and I'm actually not going to put in our closer just because I don't feel like we need to. And boom, Chicago White Sox going to finish this one off 5-2, and that's going to be it. And of course, I knew we could be playing the Dodgers as always. However, the Cubs took them to 7 games for the Dodgers to finally beat them. So we're going to go against the Dodgers. I feel like the Dodgers, the first 2 or 3 years, for sure the first 2 years, they're almost automatic to get into the World Series and win it. However, year 3 is when they start to struggle. But last year, they really struggled. Did end up winning it against the Yankees, however, against Houston. This year, I feel it. I feel like our team is strong enough this year to get it done. I felt like the Oakland series was a little bit of a fluke, and they struggle against the Cubs as well. So they come in kind of slowing down as well. So let's get this one started. Game 1. Syndergaard, Urias, the win, 7-3. Let's go. Garcia, Buehler, a very, very bad matchup for us, but I have faith in Garcia, and he gets it done, 2-0. A great game by Garcia. Definitely earned the victory there. Now, Game 3, Giolito and Bauer, a loss, okay. Fried and May, a loss, okay. Marquez, a loss. Oh, no. Oh, no, we're doing it again. I'm not sure what to do here. I'm hoping we can get it done. Syndergaard versus Buehler. A good matchup. I mean, I'm hoping Syndergaard can get it done. Please get it done, Syndergaard. He does. 4-2. So we are going on to Game 7. Garcia and Urias. I don't know what we're going to do here. I don't know if we actually use them or if we should switch out pitchers. We'll just jump into it and quick manage it like we have been and see what we can do. Okay, let's get it done, boys. A double. Good to see. I almost want to bunt and get him in. However, we're going to let Mountcastle swing away, and he gets him over anyways. Trout, get him in. He does with the single. Strikeout. All right, we up 1-0 in the first inning. Ground out, strikeout. All right, we're rolling now. A 2-run home run by Lindor. We take a 3-0 lead in the fourth inning. Oof. Okay. All right. We're time change here. Fly out, sack fly. Okay. 2-3 now. Come on, Trout. Let's get us something going here. Strikeout. Love to see it. Wow. Great job, guys. Double the belly. That's not a good start. A pop out. An error. Oh, no. Come on. A fly out. All right. We are down to the last out. We get it. The White Sox have won the World Series, defeating the Dodgers 3-2. That was a close one. I was really worried. As soon as we get it off the leadoff double, I was like, crap. We're either going to give up a home run here or they're for sure going to tie it, go in the extras, and beat us. However, slam the door shut. Giolito won it for us basically. 7 strikeouts, 7 strong innings, only giving up that 1 home run. And to finish it out for us was Osuna. So got the job done. We actually had a better record the whole season than the LA Dodgers, which is surprising. Only 4 hits, however, is enough to get it done. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe we beat the Dodgers in 7, especially when we were down 3-2. We tied it up with that big game by Syndergaard and finished it off by Giolito coming back and helping pitch. So, Chicago White Sox are the 2022 World Series champions. It took us 2 years to do it. So the rebuild, the dynasty was a success. It took us 2 years to rebuild the Chicago White Sox and get us that coveted World Series. So with that victory, we move on to next week's episode, which will be another AL Central team. It is going to be the Cleveland Indians, or Cleveland if that's what you want to call them. They're going to be next week's episode, so if you want to watch that, make sure you hit the red subscribe button. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, comment down below and let me know if you are a White Sox fan and you are happy with the outcome that you saw in this dynasty rebuild. Until next time, Slacker out.